In this video, I will show you how this particular Errol Spence detail makes him super dangerous for Yordenis Ugas. I think we could have the old Errol Spence back. Find out what I'm talking about in this video. Now, before I get started, I have to say this. About 50% of you who watch my channel over the last month are subscribed. The other 50% is not. So if you realize that you're not subscribed, or maybe you got unsubscribed by YouTube, then consider hitting the subscribe button if you get value from this content. It's free, and you can subscribe or unsubscribe at any point if you change your mind. Let's get into the video. Man, this is going to be a good fight. Errol Spence versus Yordenis Ugas out of Cuba. Keep in mind, Yordenis Ugas is coming off the best career win. I think, personally, that Ugas beat Shawn Porter when they fought. However, he didn't get the judge's decision, so you can't count that as a victory for Yordenis Ugas technically, even though anybody that watched the fight, actually the anniversary was a couple of days ago of that particular fight. It happened at March, I think it was 2019 off the top of my head, and I thought Ugas should have been declared the victor, and I thought he should have scored a knockdown when he dropped Shawn Porter. You know, I don't know what was going on with Shawn Porter that particular fight, but I do remember Shawn Porter had to cut his hair, which was, you know, some unusual thing. He missed weight at the weigh-in, and then he had to cut his hair to make weight, which was strange and unusual, but in the end, he made weight. However, I do think he lost to Ugas. Fast forward to the future. Errol, the true Spence. Hey, stop that cat. Man down. Yeah. Right? He was supposed to fight none other than Filipino boxing legend Manny Pacquiao. I believe I do want to. But guess what? Errol Spence, it was declared and discovered that he had an eye injury, and he was forced to withdraw and pull out of the fight, which had to be gut-wrenching and crushing based on the fact that Errol Spence had dreamt of this fight, called out Pacquiao for years. Enter Yordenis Ugas. Yordenis Ugas stepped in, and I don't think people are giving him his due credit. People keep saying that, oh, but Manny Pacquiao, he was too old. But this is the funny and fickle thing with boxing fans. Check it out. Boxing fans, before the fight, will say one thing, and they'll say this, that, and the third. Then after the fight, when it's not the decision or conclusion that you wanted, they'll try to switch it. So we've seen it with, like, people pick Canelo Alvarez to beat Mayweather. He gets toyed with and destroyed by Mayweather. And then people said, oh, Canelo was too green. Or people pick Pacquiao to beat Ugas, and no one gave him a shot except for me and a few other people, right? And when he's the victor, then it's excuses how he's too old. Now we're at Errol Spence Ugas. Errol Spence, I don't know what it is about him, but he's a dog, and he refuses to back down. He chooses not to do tune-up fights and instead challenge himself. I think internally, based on what I gather from Errol Spence interviews, he realizes that to bring the best out of himself, being a U.S. Olympian, he has to dig down deep to fight better guys, and that's what it is. And some people are like that. I consider myself to be like that, just a huge and highly competitive person in my life, a personal life, not to give you guys too much, but if tasks become too easy for me in mundane and repetitious, then I can get bored with it. I actually do better when I'm doubted, when my back's against the wall, when I'm pressured, and it's just the reality of it. So I think that's kind of what it is for Errol Spence. Now, I know you guys are scratching your head. We've come to the point to talk about what detail makes Errol Spence extremely dangerous for Ugas. That detail is Errol Spence's hairstyle. What? Now, I know a lot of y'all thinking I'm being funny. I'm not. Errol Spence's hairstyle, that makes him a problem. So if you look at recent leaked pictures on the internet of Errol Spence, he's been, hey, man down. He seems rejuvenated. He seems like he's just tapped in the zone, spending time with his family or spending time in the gym. But if you are so inclined, or if you follow my channel, you see these pictures of Errol Spence, and he's growing out that shag. that Dallas, Texas known hairstyle. It's called a drop shag. Some people from Texas even call it the booty because it's kind of like a shag / mullet in the back, and it got some weight in the back. Pause. The hairstyle got some weight in the back, and this is a known Dallas trend. At least at some point, it's a known Dallas phenomenon, the drop shag. Now, I know some of y'all are still scratching your head like, why did I click on this video? What does Errol Spence's hairstyle have to do with it, Ego? Well, for starters, Errol Spence is from DeSoto, Texas, so he's from the Dallas area. Second, he's fighting in Jerry's World, the Dallas Cowboys Stadium, Arlington, Texas, AT&T Stadium, right? So to me, with Errol Spence, quote unquote, getting festive, or Errol Spence going back, this immediately, when I seen it, it immediately put me in the mind frame of up and coming Errol Spence Jr. If you know, you know. The people who are avid listeners of my channel, they'll know exactly why I made this video and why I'm suggesting this. Some people who don't get it, or Errol Spence haters, they're going to say, oh, you just ride Errol Spence. Oh, you did. No, this reminds me of Errol Spence when he was on his way up. When Errol Spence was calling out everybody, and I mean, he was calling out fights for Manny Pacquiao. He was definitely on Keith Thurman's line. There was a lot of fights where he donned this hairstyle, right? Namely, the one that really comes to mind was the Leonard Bundu fight in New York. If you remember that fight, that was one of Errol Spence's most vicious and brutal. Like Mike Tyson said, I'm the most vicious, I'm the most brutal, the most ruthless. There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous, my defense is impregnable. I'm just ferocious. I want his heart, I want to eat his kids. Praise be Allah, Errol Spence. Right? It was sick. It was a wicked knockout. Bro, he posterized Leonard Bundu. Yep. Dropped him. Right? And then Leonard Bundu, he looked like the Chucky doll. Remember when on Child's Play movie where Chucky, he tried to make it look like to others he was just a doll, but Andy, he was coming alive and talking to Andy and stuff, and no one believed Andy, thought he was insane. That's how Bundu looked. He looked like the Annabelle doll, like the Chucky doll. He literally got schlepped, if you will. So I think this makes Errol Spence dangerous, because what this foreshadows to me in the Ugas fight is he's insanely motivated, and he's kind of going back to his roots. You know, it's like, you know, people have these things like Keith Thurman said he lost, so he cut his ponytail, and, you know, he wanted to have a fresh start. And that's kind of the same, like, cocoon metamorphosis that I think Errol Spence is doing. I think Errol Spence is really tapped in. I got an Ego Weight Watchers video coming soon. You guys, if you want to spoil it, you can go to my Instagram at Boxingego and see what the commotion is about with Errol Spence's weight. Drop me a comment and let me know. But I really feel Errol Spence is going back to the basics. He looks like he's staying in the gym. He's staying focused. He's staying ready. I like it. I dig it. And for me, that makes Errol Spence insanely dangerous in this Ugas fight. Dennis Ugas, I take nothing away. I'm favoring Errol Spence in this fight. Maybe Ugas can make it an extremely difficult fight. But I think Errol Spence going back to who he is, keeping his weight down, staying in the gym, staying ready so he doesn't have to get ready, coming back with the old Errol Spence hairstyle. I think all this stuff matters, and combined in April, I'm looking for a vicious Errol to come. May the best man win. Subscribe to the channel if you dig content like this. I'm literally the best in the business. Been doing this for a while. So the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. Errol Spence is bringing the shag back, the drop shag. Let me know what you guys think. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. And I'm out. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working.